Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be roasting our own coffee. So my friend told me about this company called Sweet Maria's. They do a lot of at-home coffee roasting. They sell like the green coffee beans before they're roasted. I was intrigued. It's a lot cheaper actually to buy green coffee beans that aren't roasted. This is a roaster, which is just air popper for popcorn, and 4 pounds of coffee. I'm gonna open it and we are gonna try roasting coffee today. The photos on the front show coffee from green to roasted. So that's what they look like, green, and then it goes to roasted. This
like peanuts.
Yeah, this is a dark roast. We got this air popper Nostalgia Air Pop popcorn maker. Supposedly there's certain types of air poppers that are better than others for actually like roasting coffee, and Sweet Maria says this is a super good one. 4 pounds of green coffee.
You want that, Clay?
That's pretty cool. I've never actually seen green coffee.
Wow.
Yep. So we're outside because it can get messy and a lot of chaff blows around and stuff. Can be smelly. And we have a plug-in out here, so that's easy. I'm choosing a Colombia roast. It's supposed to have traces of dried fruit and almond. Good for espresso. What I have to do is I have to turn this on, and then I'm gonna slowly pour beans into it, and they're gonna be spinning, but as soon as all the beans just stop spinning, that's like the batch level. And then I'm going to dump it out to measure what a good batch level is. It's said probably between 1/3 a cup and 1/2 a cup. And that's the first step. Once I dump it out and figure out the batch level, then I'll dump it back in and it'll roast. And the key with the roasting is we're going to wait for the first crack that we're about to hit a light roast. It said anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. It's like super dependent on ambient air temperature and how much power is coming out of your socket and all sorts of things. I'm going to turn it on.
How much is that kitten in the window? That puppy in the... They both want to watch you.
See, they're spinning right now. It is right below 1/2 cup. So for future reference, that's what we want. Right below the 1/2 cup. At the beginning, you're supposed to shake it a little to make sure they keep moving. So it's going to go from green to brown, and then we're waiting for the first crack, which is like a little pop that happens. And I'm going to do a light roast.
There's a lot of things popping out of
Yeah,
there.
that's all the chaff. Between the first crack and the second crack, where like you would stop it. So right after the first crack would be a super light roast, and right at the second crack would be a super dark roast. So I'm going to try to go somewhere in between. So I'm going to let them all keep cracking, and then once the cracking stops is when I'll stop the roast. Because we're in mid-crack right now. Alright, the cracking has stopped. You don't want to turn it off until it's out of there. You never want to let the coffee sit on the hot metal that's right here, or that's when you can start getting more burning. This is all stuff I've learned off of the YouTube. One thing Melissa was asking is, why don't the bottom beans just burn and the top ones not really cook? What happens is the ones that are lowest, they start to dry out and then they're lighter weight, and so they actually get pushed up to the top. And the greenest ones are heaviest and they drop down to the bottom. Oh. So that's why it keeps kind of cycling through. Look at that. It looks like real coffee.
Wow.
So I'm cooling it now, but the next step is to let it rest, which means it'll be ready to brew by tomorrow morning. So that's why I did it this afternoon. Then you want to store it somewhere that's like cool and dry and theoretically airtight, although they said at the very beginning it'll release some CO2. So you might not want to do it. Right at the beginning, they just smell kind of like
it smells like
smoky.
burnt popcorn.
Yeah, or burnt popcorn or something. By tomorrow morning, or even by later this evening, they'll start to be smelling good.
So do we keep these outside so our whole house doesn't smell like this?
Maybe. I'm thinking about doing one more batch, and then I could also give my mom a little bit to try.
Maybe we should make sure it tastes good before you give it to your mother. Just give it to her, don't try it.
Yeah. So I just did a second batch and it took like 4.5 minutes. So it roasted super fast. One thing they said is the warmer, like the ambient air temperature, the quicker it will roast. And it's pretty warm out today, so that's probably why. But I just poured it back into this cup. So I did 2 half-cup batches of the green stuff and it came out with this much. So you can see how much it expands. Expanded by a 1/4 cup or something. Kind of cool, but now I just need to let it rest and then I need to store it. All right, guys, it's the next morning, and this is the moment of truth for the home-roasted coffee. Ooh. Can you smell it? It smells good. I actually wish you could smell it because it smells so good. It has to rest like 12 hours at least for it to get a good flavor. But you want to leave the cap loose at first because it releases carbon dioxide for a little while, but then you can screw it on tight and store it. I'm just going to do a little bit and grind it, and then I'm going to pull a shot or 2 or 4. I have this Imusa espresso machine. It works fine. It's not like a super high-end espresso machine because it only costs $25. For at-home coffee, if you want to spend a few hundred on a really nice one, I would recommend this. We made a video reviewing this $25 espresso machine. So yeah, we'll link that in the description. Not sponsored, but Imusa, if you want to sponsor us, that would be awesome. First step, grinding. You want to get it pretty fine. It's kind of a cheap grinder. There's the ground coffee. So if I want to do 4 shots, I fill this thing up to the 4 line. You pour it in the top. And then you put in that many scoops of coffee. Then you put this thing in there. This little dial, it's on off right now. You turn it to brew and the light will turn on. So I take a little bit of vanilla powder because I want to make a vanilla latte and I put it in my cup.
This stuff is the best.
Yeah, it's from Coffee Bean. Super good. Almond milk. Iced latte is ready. I'll give you the verdict on this today. I'm also about to make a batch of cold brew, so I'll give you a verdict on the cold brew tomorrow. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I think maybe I don't drink light roasts very often, but a lot of coffee I drink, I feel like has a slight burnt flavor. I think Starbucks coffee often tastes burnt, but this is bomb. It's like really sweet. 2 thumbs up. Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. The cold brew's ready. Shake it up. I'm gonna taste it first and then see if I need to dilute it. No, I don't need it. It's good. I'm trying to figure out what the flavor is. Interesting flavor profile. I don't know.
Okay, whatever. You don't even know what you're saying.
That's true. I know. That's why maybe I look weird. I'm trying to figure out. But it's a really good flavor. It has like a little sweetness at the end. Tastes different than coffee I'm used to. So I don't know if that's my roasting or if it's because I accidentally used espresso grind. So I might just be tasting grounds. Medium. I liked the latte yesterday, but this I would say is medium. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to keep roasting and hopefully I'll get better. It's really fun. So if you need a quarantine hobby and you like coffee, try it out. We'll link the company down below where you can buy the stuff from. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. You guys are great, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Does a kitten help?
Probably.
I'm just picturing you throwing them everywhere.